All right, we're going to go and get started. Before we get on the challenges, I want to run over just writing and running, executing code in VS Code. So up until this point, during all your challenges, your application, everything was pretty much done in REPL, which is an online IDE. And it doesn't look that dissimilar to VS Code right now. If you look at like where you actually write your code, like if I wanted to say hello in JavaScript, what would I write? And so we have the file structure. Can you? Right. We have where we're actually writing our code over here on the left, and then where the code actually shows up here on the right. This is essentially kind of like the terminal. So in order to execute JavaScript in REPL, what do we have to do? In this REPL? Yeah. There we go. Hit Control C anytime. Cool. So I can write Control C. What is it? Control Enter.
Well, that works in Windows. My bad.
I know. Cool. So that's how pretty much everyone's been doing it up until this point using online REPL. But in VS Code, here we are. I'm in my code platoon directory and my kilo platoon directory. It's right here. I've got assessments, challenges, curriculum. So I want to navigate into challenges. And I want to create a JavaScript file, touch test file and .js. And I want to open this file right there. And you can also create a file by clicking create file, test file 2.js. Same with folders, but I highly recommend doing everything in the terminal until you're very familiar, until pretty much it's like, you know, reflex in the terminal. Makes it a lot easier. So if I wanted to do essentially what I did in the REPL and here, what would I write? If I wanted to say like hello. All right. Now how would I run this to make it?
In the terminal, type node and then space and then the file name.
Node test file.js. There it goes. So node is how you execute JavaScript files in the terminal. If I wanted to, I want to create an array of students in the classroom. How do I do that? I just want to create an array. Const students equals array. Let's go John. Got a list. Danny. And so on, so on. I got Ian. We should do one more. It's random people. Now I want to write a function that loops through this array and just says hello. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Danny. Hello, Beck. Hello, Alex. Hello, Ian. How do I do that?
Oh, okay. Well, you write the keyword function, then you write the function.
All right. Let's do function. See how it says function.
Open parentheses.
Do I need to call? Do I do the function name?
Or you can do. Yeah, you want to name it. You can do an arrow function to name it.
Let's do like.
Arrow function.
All right. Let's do. We're gonna do an arrow function. Hello.
Welcome.
Students.
Open parentheses.
All right. It's gonna take in. we want to take it into a parameter. So yeah, let's do student. Student list. See how the opening closing parentheses, how it's like they're both yellow, and it's got this little line that says, oh, here's the match of where it is. So I want to loop through this array and say hello. So see how I'm writing, and all of a sudden it's like popping up. So we've got this for each. Oh, bam. And see how this open parentheses or open curly brackets blue is a different color, and like this open parentheses is like pink, and like this is everything in here. So that's what the IntelliSense does. And like Beautify, I think it's like in that pair brackets. So it's not array. What would it be called?
It's not about students.
Would it be student or
list.
student list? Thank you. See how it already knows kind of. It says here's a parameter student list, and the type it can take in essentially anything. All right. If I wanted I don't want elements. I just want a student. So I want a console log. I want to say hello and the student's name. String interpolation. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So I can do like console log, or I'm sorry, hello, $. Except I'm it's not correct right now because it's not tilde. I can do that. What is it, $? I heard? There we go. See how that was gray at first because it didn't have any matchup, so it turns gray. So if I wanted to run this, how would I do this? Correct. I first have to call the function. Welcome students right there. List any. Then I want to pass in. What do I want to pass in?
Students.
Oh. All right. Now, how do I run this again? There you go. Hello. So we got this first console log. Hello, for each. What if I wanted to do just a standard for loop instead of a for each?
So it'll be like for I equals 0, single and I less than over the list
Student list.
Yeah.
Dot length. All right. And now, right now, yep. So right now this is red, like this. So it's like, hey, there's something wrong here. It's because. There we go. And then we want to. So I want this down. Yep. So I want to keep that, but I want to copy it and bring it down. How come it's still messed up? Extra bracket. Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Did put that one in for you. How did you drop it down?
All right. How did I do that? So if I wanted to copy this entire line, you know how you usually have to like copy it, press enter, space. I can even just go copy, like press Command C, and it automatically, so I don't have to highlight it all. Or I can highlight it all and Command Shift, or no, what is it? Just Shift down. No, that's not on. See, it's like, must have.
Right.
There we go. So it's Option Shift down, and then to navigate it down, it's just you hold the option. So you already forgot like how to like quickly get to the terminal without clicking. So if I wanted to run this again,
No, or up arrow.
press the up arrow.
To
And,
change the student though.
Yeah,
oh,
because it's not iterative.
there we go. So okay, how do I?
Bracket I, bracket student list I. Same way we did, but just dollar sign, curly bracket, student list, open, straight bracket I. And I don't know.
Like that? Oh, wait, hold on, no.
Square brackets.
Like that? Does that work?
I don't know. Let's
Let's try it. Sweet. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly. Let's try it. Hold on, I'm gonna clear this. Go up to node. There we go. Cool. So at any time when we're going through this and you see like, oh, like how do you like move stuff around? That just let us know and we'll tell you.
So to highlight the line, you just hit shift, arrow key.
Yeah, so no, it's command, like, yeah, it's command shift, and it goes to the very end.
And drop it down, you just hit option.
Yeah, and then if you hold command,
Option set, right?
oh, for,
Dropping the line, the selected line down.
so that's shift option,
Shift down.
and then when you hold the option key, and then just press the arrow, and you can move it around. All right. Does anybody have any questions? What questions do you have? Nothing? All right, for the rest of,
Do we like simultaneously put JavaScript like yes, different.
you'll see. So like today's challenges are done in JavaScript. But first, should I go over that now? No, we'll go later. We're gonna do, you have two challenges today, 99 bottles and def grammar. And there's also like terminal commands if you want, when you want to do that. So 99 bottles, let's look at this one first. So the way, if you click on the link, it literally just goes to the Kilo Platoon 99 bottles repository. And if you want to find it, you just type in 99, there's 99 bottles. It's literally the same thing. If you come through here, it just links you, it's just a link to that repository. Yes. So in this, for this challenge, so there's JavaScript and Python. Today's just JavaScript. You're going to write a program that can print the song 99 bottles. And it can take in any parameter. So like you can take in 98 bottles if you want, or it can take in like 1,000 bottles, but it has to count down from the parameter you pass in all the way down to essentially iterate through the entire song. So it takes down 99 bottles of beer on the wall, you know. It's supposed to count to log and decrement 95, 94, 93, all the way, it's all the same essentially until you get down to like the last one. So you take one down, pass it around, one bottle. So the syntax is actually different. It's not plural like the ones up here. So this essentially, write a program that counts the logs, decrementing all the way down to 0 and sing this, the 99 bottle song. There are some considerations to take note of. Certainly use a while loop, for, or for each, and these built-in JavaScript methods. So if you open up that, here's kind of what you're doing. In order to, well, yeah, never mind, we'll get that later. So you can just open a file, create like called 99 bottles, and write this in there. The second challenge is def grammar. This is more difficult. Please do 99 bottles first. and then come into def grammar. And before we even look at this, like read it, but also make sure you read these prompt, prop, and Google like this. You'll need to prompt or prompt Google. Read through this. Hey, Flatiron. Because you will need to use a prompt command in JavaScript. And essentially, it's like you're talking to your grandma. If you don't input anything and just hit enter, she says what? If you ask a question with any lowercase, she'll respond, speak up. If you tell her in all uppercase, she responds with no, not since 1946. This is your first. If you say goodbye, all capital letters for the first time, she'll say leaving so soon. If you say goodbye, all capital letters again, she'll say later, Skeeter. So here's kind of an example. Since we're doing JavaScript.
So do you want us to fork these from GitHub and then push them when we're done, or how does it work?
Yeah, we'll go over that. So in order to get access, or you can do one of two things. I was going to go over in depth later, but we can go through it now. So it's 99 bottles with GitHub. Where is it? Software. Curriculum. Right here, this is how you kind of like set up your code for review. If you don't know, because a lot of it's with regards to Git commands and utilizing like git clone and stuff like that, which you probably aren't that familiar with, so we can go over one together. You want to fork over, essentially you want to make a copy of the 99 bottles repository and fork it, pretty much make a copy onto your own personal GitHub. So that's what this little fork button up here. So I'm on 99 bottles, and I click fork up here. I'm gonna fork it, and it's got a bunch of people. I want to fork it to myself because you'll want to fork it to your own profile. So it's gonna click that. It's gonna say at forking Kilo Platoon 99 bottles. There's this little like scanner that's like, hey, it's making a copy of it. There it says Tom Preet. Now I'm in my profile, on my GitHub profile, 99 bottles, forked from Kilo Platoon 99 bottles. So now I can like work off of this. So now how do I get these onto my own local machine? Because right now it's on GitHub, it's on the repository. There's this green button that says clone or download. If you click on it, there'll be a clone with HTTPS. You can highlight the whole thing, copy, paste, or just click this button right here and it automatically copies it for you. Now, in my terminal, so I've got a directory called challenges. This is where I'm going to keep all my challenges for the cohort. So the command I want to write is git clone and then copy that into this part, copy it right here. So I git clone, and if I press enter, it's going to say cloning 99 bottles, remote, whatever. It's good, unpacking objects. And now you can see my 99 bottles right here.
After we transfer the Git from to our own Git profile, so we just clone it and what do you do after that?
So you fork it and then you clone it. So now you have access to, I have access to write the
after we do that command.
Yep. So now I have the 99 bottles. So if I want to go into, so I'm going to list 99 bottles, or list here. So I've got the 99 bottles. I'm going to list. And you can kind of see that you're in what was forked or cloned down from GitHub by this little thing called master. We're going to go into detail with regards to that tomorrow. You don't have to do this. You could just create a file called 99 bottles and do a JavaScript file and run it here. But this is also what you will eventually get to do after tomorrow. Any questions?
Should I set up just for best practice, follow what you've got?
worry about today. Don't worry about setting up the structure for the long term today.
Oh, like file folder structure.
Yeah, should I just make a code platoon in my root and kilo platoon?
Yeah. And also, I'm going to stress this tomorrow is the importance of file structure organization, because there's a lot of people that just get clone stuff to just random parts of their machine and they lose stuff.
Do you suggest like creating a code platoon folder right on the root or just in the desktop? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. I usually do it at the root. So, but you don't even have to do like, but yeah, it doesn't have to say code platoon. It can be called whatever. Does anybody have any questions? Remote, what questions do you have? You want me to run through? Now I'll run through the same thing, but with def gramma as far as like cloning and stuff. And also, it can kind of follow this stuff, but you don't have to worry about. But essentially, kind of what I'm doing is this. So for def gramma, I'm on kilo platoon, and I want to fork it over to my own desktop or my own GitHub account. So fork Tom Preet. So it's going to show that scanner. It's making a copy from kilo platoon into Tom Preet's a repository called def gramma on my GitHub account. Next, I want to git clone this. I want to copy this. So that's me copying it right there. Now I want to actually bring it down from GitHub onto my local machine. So I want to be in my challenges folder or directory. There's my challenges. I've got 99 bottles. I got that test file. I can do git clone and then copy that or paste that def gramma. See GitHub, Tom Preet, def gramma.git. There's my def gramma. Now I can write my code. I can do the challenge. What questions? Don't be afraid.
So
to
after
speak up.
after we get them these challenges done, you want us to push them?
If you know how to push it, you can, but you don't have to right away. You'll be able to push everything tomorrow after we go through the how to push and all that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna talk about branching and just overall Git tomorrow. So if no one has any more questions, work on 99 bottles on JavaScript and then work on def gramma on JavaScript. I know today was supposed to be crazy hectic, and you feel a lot of times people say you work till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night most nights. Don't worry. If you finish everything like by the end of the day and you're like, oh, this was not that bad, just wait till the end of the week or next week and pretty much until the end of the program.